Oh, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, only 3 weeks away from today. And if you're already thinking about that menu, we have you covered. Chef Brandi Alexander is stopping by the Charlie Wilson KitchenAid Kitchen to give us some inspo. Because you always do things that are like, well, that was easy. That was new, right? And we want lots of pumpkins, and pumpkin-inspired things, but we don't know many ways to fix
pie,
it.
One of the things that we can cook today, I just found on your set when I was walking in right here, this pumpkin.
The pumpkin?
So, lots of people have tons of fall decorations out right now. What they don't realize is they can eat lots of these decorations.
No idea. Had no idea. I think they think because that was for decor that it's probably not going to taste good. That's what I think anyway.
That's a big misconception. Yes, technically you can eat any kind of pumpkin, as long as it's an actual pumpkin. But some of them aren't that fun to eat, and some of them don't have much flavor. This is your traditional pie pumpkin. This is what you'll be sold to, make pies with at the store. It's what canned pumpkin's made out of, and it's fine. Yeah. It doesn't have much flavor. It tastes like what you make it taste like, but there are much more delicious varieties.
Like the ugly ones you said have the best flavor?
So this is a pink doll pumpkin. These are really popular with decorations now. There's one that's a greenish, bluish color. It's a blue doll pumpkin. This is a variety of them. You can see this greenish color. If it's solid, it's a blue doll. These are the sweetest and also most nutritious pumpkins to eat. You can see that the puree, look how dark orange it is. The more color a vegetable has, the more flavor.
Okay.
Our butternut squash that we find in the grocery store, it's a light orange color. This is a butternut squash.
It is?
Yes, this is a green striped butternut squash.
Probably richer flavor too.
Has a lot more flavor in it. It's sweeter and a lot more nutrients in it. You can make a pumpkin pie out of this and no one would know it was squash.
Okay.
This over
that's
here.
Easier to cut up too.
It is. It's a little easier to cut. Now these are a lot harder to cut. If the pumpkin is harder to cut, the skin is thicker, it probably tastes better and has more nutrients.
Oh, there we go. It's worth it.
These great big things that people put out as decorations. This is a cushaw squash.
Cushaw.
If you cut it down the middle, it looks, just like a butternut squash would on the inside. It's a little bit yellower than orange. This makes an amazing pie. You can make a sweet potato or pumpkin pie with this. And have all the flavor. If you have someone in the family that doesn't need as much sugar, if you're just wanting to cut back some, during the holidays, on the sweets.
Great substitute for that pie.
Great substitute, tastes exactly the same.
And I think a lot of times I'm always thinking, well, if it's big like this, that means that it's overgrown and it's going to have a hollow taste.
That is true for a lot of vegetables. Now these things can get double this size. So this is a normal size for one of these. Yes.
I'm going to be out on my front porch bringing everything in to cook. This is a great use of that.
There's white pumpkins that are like this too. They are edible. They don't have a lot of flavor. So these you'd want to use if you didn't want any pumpkin flavor. If you wanted to, add it to a soup or something to add vegetables and nutrients in, but not really quite much flavor. So what you can do with these vegetables, it's super simple. You're going to cut them just like you were going to carve a pumpkin. Cut them in half, and you're going to take your spoon and scoop the guts out. Don't throw the guts away.
Nope.
We're going to put the guts on the tray too. We're going to roast those as well because we're going to throw them into stock, and it'll give tons of flavor to when you make a chicken stock with your leftover turkey.
You didn't get all the gooey stuff out. You just the whole thing.
I scooped it straight out and plopped it right on here.
I like the way you do things.
We're simple. We're going to put this on here.
Just like this?
Yep, and then give me that oil over there.
Okay.
You can just pour some on. Here, I'll pour it on, and you just brush it around.
Okay.
Now, if you are roasting these, we're going to roast these to make, just pumpkin or squash for pies or fillings, soups, or purees. You can also freeze this stuff.
I love that.
So if you're wanting,
do the outside or anything
we'll do the outside.
Okay.
If you're wanting to use these for pies and things like that, you're not going to put anything on them but oil. Now, if you're wanting to make something savory with them, if you're going to add them into soups, then you could take some seasoning and put on them, either just some salt and pepper, or I've got my Kinders and my Flavor God over here.
Yeah.
I like to do them with nothing when I'm making them for purees and soups, just so I can decide later if they're going to be sweet or not.
Right. You could always add spice later if you decide to make them.
That's correct. Even the goop that we squeezed out, we're just going to pour a little oil on that. We're going to pop this entire thing into the oven.
Okay.
425 bottom.
That's the microwave. That's the microwave.
We're going to put that in there at 425.
Claudia knows her way around the kitchen.
We're going to leave it in for about 425, about 20 minutes. Flip them over. Do another 20 minutes.
Okay.
And they're going to come out all golden brown.
Man, that was great.
Now, this right here You can eat it if you want to. What I'm going to do with
pumpkin
this.
seeds.
Yes.
The guts are great.
The guts, we've roasted these. I'm going to throw this in with my turkey stock after Thanksgiving. It's going to give tons of flavor. You're going to strain it at the end and lots of nutrients. Now, with your pumpkins, all you've got to do, if you take a spoon, we've got a fork right now. All you're going to do is just scrape this away from the sides.
Okay.
There's no sense in peeling this before you roast it. It's going to take too much time. You're going to cut yourself. It's really thick and heavy.
Right.
Yep. Just scrape the insides out.
But wait, can I try a little bit?
Sure. Now, it's not seasoned, but yes, try. It is sweeter than,
rich
you know,
taste.
just regular
Oh, I
pumpkin.
like that. I like that sweet, rich
And this
taste.
is the, look how orange, this is the green striped butternut squash. You can see how much of a deeper orange red it is than a regular one.
Oh, that's really good. Like you could put a little cinnamon on that and just serve that
Yes.
up, right?
This
Let me go back
and
to
look,
work here.
this
I got
is your
different
regular pie pumpkin right here. This is the color of.
Look at the difference.
Yes, that's your regular pie pumpkin. Looks more like, you know, like a yellow squash when it comes
Yeah.
out. And then this is your blue moon pumpkin. So if you take those by comparison, you can just see.
Huge.
This one's creamier and richer, has more color. You know, the pie pumpkin just doesn't quite stand up to it.
And then are you just taking this inside
I'm going to
and
scoop
putting
this
it?
out. I'm going to either use it as a puree in soups. Great way to sneak vegetables in on your kid. You can throw it in chili and they won't know if you put it in as a puree.
So many ideas.
You can freeze it in freezer bags or vacuum seal it.
Okay.
I just have it labeled as this is my blue doll. I can use it in anything. I even take my skins and throw those in stock. You can throw them in if you make your animals food. You know, if you make your dogs food, you
All
can
natural.
throw in the
Yeah.
skins and things like that.
I love it.
Or we can chop them up. And
Do
here
you
we
bake them first if you're going to do the chop?
Nope,
No,
we
chop
have
them
got
first.
raw pieces of our
this-
squash and
I love
pumpkin in
this.
here. We've also got sweet potatoes, carrots, parsnips, and onion. We're gonna add some oil and thyme in here.
Okay. Do this.
Fresh thyme is good with all
This is one of
vegetables.
your favorites that you introduced me to last year. And I just throw it on a sheet pan.
It's so
pop it in the
easy,
oven,
you
and
know.
that's it. Sorry, a lot of olive oil.
And these are all, go ahead and grab those seasonings. These
Okay.
are all vegetables
one
that
you wanna
are plentiful in the fall, both of them. You can put tons of it on there. It's not going to hurt them. They're
Well-
plentiful in the fall. They don't go bad easy. You know, you can keep them in your cupboard and pull them out, the
Well,
potatoes
they're sitting
and
on
things.
my front porch right now.
Some of them are sitting on your
I
front
just need to go
porch.
outside and do a little shopping.
Yes.
Right.
And then all we're going to do is pour these on a sheet pan like that, pop
Okay.
them in the oven,
Pop 'em in the
again
oven.
at 425.
Okay.
I recommend putting parchment under these. So that they don't stick, and they're going to come out nice
that.
and golden, colorful. I didn't have any today. These are all local vegetables from Tringle's Plants and Produce. They've closed for the season, but they'll open back up next year. Throw in some purple potatoes too, or some purple carrots, and then you've really got a showstopper there. But they are just sweet, flavorful.
Sticking my fingers in there, and
If
she's
you
like,
want,
no,
instead
you
of
need a
savory, if
fork."
you want, you can throw in some honey or some brown sugar. And I'm telling you, this is a way to get the kids or the family members that don't like vegetables to eat vegetables.
This would be a great side dish for Thanksgiving too,
Definitely.
and super, super easy.
And the longer you cook them, the crispier they get. My daughter calls these orange fries.
Oh,
You know, she
are.
thinks that carrots are orange fries when I cook them this way because they do get crispy. They've got tons of flavor.
oh my God, that's so good. All right, so many different ideas. When you said that you are
Here's the kushal,
using the guts or the skins for chicken stock or things later, what do you store that in?
I store it either in mason jars or you can do commercial deli cups and freeze it. If you've got good freezer bags or vacuum sealers, you can freeze it that way as well. I forgot to show you the kashaw squash as well.
Shaw.
That's
Love
the way
that.
I like to
Look at that.
freeze any of my pulp of any of my vegetables is in just a little vacuum sealer.
little
This is the
container.
kashaw. We did this the same way. You can do this with butternut squash, anything like that. Guys, I'm telling you, you can make a pumpkin pie out of this squash or do half pumpkin, half squash or half pumpkin and half sweet potato.
But especially
Can't tell the
if you're
difference.
wanting to cut down on sugar, if you have somebody that really needs to watch the
Yes.
sugar in your family, they're not going to know the taste difference.
There's a
but this
fraction.
is going to be healthier.
And look at the color. Use this
I
one and they
love
won't
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
but
it.
you know, the guts though that we roasted, take your turkey bones, throw in some water, throw in the peelings and the ends of your onions from your vegetables. Those guts that you roasted, cook it all down low and slow all day long, strain that out, and you'll have tons of flavor, tons of nutrients. You can freeze your stock and use it in soups and stews and chilies all winter.
I feel like it's been dreary weather outside. This is a great time to go ahead and break all this stuff down.
Yes.
You can't go outside anyway. Break it all down.
Yes, before it rots.
Before it rots, get it in the freezer, get ready for the holidays.
Don't eat the jack-o'-lanterns that you carved and have been setting outside.
Those look terrible right now. They do.
Yes.
All right, so stay with us because coming up, you are kind of approaching the same idea with all this pumpkin, but for our drinks.
Yes,
like
we're
the
gonna
on-trend
do a
drinks.
Pumpkin apple cider and a pumpkin espresso martini.
There we go. If you want more information, all the recipes, we showed just one of them just now. You do a great step-by-step over on your Instagram. So check everything out there.
Yeah,
or
you'll find
over
all
at
of these
TikTok
videos. I just posted the martini. The vegetables are there. You can find all this.
at chef.brandi. And go to southern-flair.com if you want to hire Brandi for any upcoming catering events. You better hurry because she's going to take Thanksgiving Day off. She's not going to be working on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day this year, but can help plan out your entire season. All right, but stick around. We're going to do drinks. Coming up.